So today we're going to do another review, a purple carrot review. For those who are unfamiliar with the purple carrot, they do meal kits. They deliver ingredients like I've got right here that are all plant-based, so no meat. I don't know if they're all vegan, but they're certainly all vegetarian. We're going to go ahead and give this one a try. This is actually a recipe for skillet fettuccine with chickpeas and tomato butter. Little side of asparagus here. We're going to do asparagus and lemon juice. Ingredients look really simple. Some butter, some vegan butter, some tomato paste, garlic. These chickpeas are canned. We're going to drain them, dry them out. They say we're going to crisp them up. Be interesting to see how this all comes together. I'm going to see how easy, how hard it is to make. Does the time, total time, individual components make sense? And of course, does it taste any good when we're all said and done? So let's go ahead and get started. I've already thrown a pot of water for our pasta on the stove. We're going to prep some ingredients, then we're going to start cooking. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started with our fettuccine recipe here. It came with some chickpeas, which is going to be, I think, a pretty interesting component to our dish. We got a little can of chickpeas. I'm just going to rinse them off. And then it has us frying these up and crisping them up. So it says to drain them and to dry them. I think the best way to dry them is actually going to be throw them on a sheet pan like this with a paper towel. And then take a couple more paper towel and just give them a little rub, let that water soak up. If we're going to fry them in oil, you really do want them to be as dry as they can be. So I'm going to leave that to sit for a few minutes while we prep our other ingredients. What we've got here is some asparagus. It'd help if I had a knife. I'm going to go get a knife and then I'm going to come back. If you don't have a knife, you can just snap them with your fingers like this. Alright, so we're back with the knife, and actually what I was doing before, the ends of asparagus get pretty woody and pretty tough. You can just go through and snap them all individually and take that kind of bottom inch off. Or, if you want to go a little faster, you can just line them up, take about an inch, maybe 2 inches off, and there we've got our asparagus ready to be cooked. We've got some garlic here, 4 cloves of garlic. Purple Carrot sent a whole head of garlic for 3 recipes. It says go ahead and take the garlic, cut it into thin slices, which we're going to do, and then throw them off, or throw them in a little bowl here. I'm going to finish my garlic separately. And then we've got some scallions here. I'm going to give the scallions a chop, just remove the ends which aren't really good to eat. And then we've got our white ends. I'm going to chop our white ends and we're going to keep those separate from, from our green sides. We're going to cook the white ends a little bit longer. And then we've also got, we'll throw these in here, we've got a little bit of parsley. And parsley needs to be chopped up as well. You can get rid of the stems. There we go. And then these leaves, we're just going to give them a rough chop. And that's pretty much it for our prep. I got to come back and I got to finish those garlic cloves. But that's just going to take a few minutes, and then we're going to be ready to start cooking. Okay, so as you can see, I got my salted water over here is on the boil, and this is our fettuccine. We're going to go ahead and add that to the pot. This is the first step, is to cook our fettuccine in the pot. You want salted water. You do want to stir it every once in a while to make sure it doesn't stick together, but you don't have to watch it too closely. Directions say it's going to take 7 or 8 minutes. Don't want to lose that guy. To get cooked through to al dente, that makes sense to me. And then we're going to cook our asparagus in the same pot. Simultaneously, I'm heating up this pot. Directions say do these steps separately, but I'm going to start them at the same time. I've got our chickpeas here. I'm going to add them to this pan with some oil in just a minute. Okay, so my pasta's been going for about 2 minutes, and again, while it says to do this after the pasta is cooked, I'm going to save myself a little bit of time. In a non-stick pan, we got a couple teaspoons of oil there, olive oil. We've got our dried chickpeas, and we're going to add these to the pan. You can get them in there. And if they're not dry, you're going to get a lot of splattering, which is no good. And we're looking to crisp these up. Just give them a little toss. And then every once in a while, give them another little toss. You want them brown, and you want them, again, to start have some of that texture that's going to come with caramelization. Okay, guys, so my chickpeas are going. Our pasta I just tested, and it is nice and al dente. The only way to test it really is to taste it. Directions have us grabbing half a cup of pasta water. Won't hurt to grab a little bit more. So there you go. That's going to help create our sauce. I'm going to kill the heat. I'm going to drain our pasta and add about 2 inches of water to the pot for our asparagus. Okay, so my pasta is drained. I've got 2 inches of water in here. I put it back on the heat to get it to a boil so we can cook our asparagus. And here are, check out those crispy chickpeas. I'm actually digging how this recipe is going. I think these chickpeas, I like them anyway. I think this is a good technique. It's going to be interesting in the pasta. Here's the same tray that I put them on before. We're going to move them to this tray, set them aside, while we work on the bases of our sauce, which I'm going to grab some olive oil for. Alright, so our pan is back on medium heat. I've got our olive oil. We're going to add about a tablespoon to the pan. And then we've got the garlic that we sliced up before. I think it's important. You got to really watch the heat. You don't want to brown, or certainly you don't want to burn the garlic. So be mindful if you need to cool the pan down, adjust the heat. You can also just lift it off the pan or even move it off the burner for a minute or two. You just want that garlic to soften up a little bit and to release some of those aromas. My water for the asparagus is already boiling, so this is going to all come together pretty quickly now. In about a minute, we're going to come back and add some tomato and butter to our garlic here. Okay, our garlic is now fragrante. We've got our butter here we're going to add to the dish. I'm just going to move this around to help cool that pan down because I do start seeing some bits of brown on our, what do we call it, on our garlic. We're going to add our tomato paste in there. We're just going to let that butter melt. And then I'm going to come back, once this is all mixed together, and grab our fettuccine and add that into our sauce here. Alright, so we've got our sauce now mixed together. We're going to add in our cooked fettuccine. And we're also going to add in, remember I took a little bit more. It says add half a cup of water. I took a little bit more out. So I'm not going to add it all in. It says to season generously, which I like. The tip with salt. I would throw a little pepper in there, but it doesn't say do any pepper, so I'm going to leave it alone. And then it says just continue to cook this for a couple minutes until the sauce thickens up a little bit. You do need it to simmer a little bit, so again, adjust the heat if needed. Alright guys, so our sauce is thickened up. We're going to finish our dish with our chopped scallions, our chopped parsley, and of course, the chickpeas that we did earlier. And then this all just needs to be stirred in and coated. You can turn the heat down to low to essentially nothing. This should be essentially good to go. The residual heat's going to wilt those herbs. And then we're going to finish off our broccoli. I got my water boiling over here. Let's drop the broccoli. Sorry, not broccoli, asparagus. Okay, our fettuccine is over here, just staying fairly warm. We're going to add our asparagus. It says cook it for about a minute until it turns bright green. I love it. I don't like overcooked asparagus. We're going to let that go. I'll put the timer on. We're going to drain it, then finish it right in the same pot. Okay, just drained off my asparagus. We're going to just quickly put it right back in that pot. We're going to season with a little bit of salt. Again, it doesn't say pepper. I would throw a little pepper on there, but we'll keep it the way it is. This is a little bit of lemon juice. We'll toss that in there. That is ready to go. Final step on the pasta is to give it a taste. Some seasoning. This is almost there. I could use a bit of salt. I'm going to stir that final little bit in. And then let's go ahead and serve this up. Alright, so we've got a little pasta bowl here. I'm going to take our asparagus and actually put it on the bottom. Split it up half and half. This is 2 servings. There we go. And then our fettuccine with those chickpeas. This is I'd say it's a generous portion for 2 people. We'll go ahead and just stack that up. See how I gave the pasta a little twist there? That helps give it some height, which does nothing more than makes it look cool. And then you want to make sure you get those chickpeas and that garlic on there as well. So feel free to grab a spoon and add those around. That is looking good. Give the plate just a little bit of a wipe. And there is our crispy chickpea fettuccine with asparagus. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. All right, so we've got our purple carrot fettuccine with the crispy chickpeas and the asparagus. Let's go ahead and give it a try. I'm just gonna dig in to a chickpea, which are chickpea-like. I'm gonna grab a spoon. I hate eating pasta on camera. It's so difficult. Pasta tastes nice, cooked al dente, right texture, right flavor. You can get some of that, just a hint of that garlic. Let me try it. I got a theory here. I do think it could use like a punch of acid, but remember all that lemon juice we put on the asparagus, which I think is what's kind of meant to balance everything out. We're gonna go one more here. Yeah. So asparagus, very nicely cooked. 1 minute, all it really needs. Seasoned well. And I do think, that bite of lemon that's on the asparagus kicks up the pasta itself as well, right? So eating them together, trading one off, or even cutting up the the asparagus and throwing it in there, I think would be a nice move. I do wish the directions were add a little bit of cracked black pepper. It misses a little bit of that spice, a little bit of that heat, but overall, I think this is a really great dish. I love the chickpeas, love the asparagus, the pasta, it all works together. A little bit of acid there. Add some pepper, and it would be an absolutely all-star, but we're going 2 thumbs up on this one. Good job, Purple Carrot. If you want to go ahead and give it a try, I'm going to throw a link into the description so you can try it out. If you do, let me know how it goes. Cooked same time, or around the time that the recipe card said, 25-30 minutes. This is a really easy one to do. So, again, 2 thumbs up, give it a try, and I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required. Alright guys, like I said, really like the recipe on this one. The flavors all came together really nicely. Go ahead and add some black pepper, fresh ground black pepper. I think that's going to amp it up a little bit. If you do try it, let me know how it goes. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required.